Guys, you're watching one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build Theme Park. We're about halfway through building a new maze. Okay, but this maze is different. If you missed last episode, not only is this a maze, which frustrates me and drives me absolutely nuts, but it's a maze that has changing parts. There's going to be parts of the floor that are going to come up and block your way, looking exactly, not even noticeably different. They're going to look exactly like the rest of the walls of the maze. So you're not going to know if you're in a part that you've been in before. You're not going to know if you're sort of locked into a section of the maze until it reopens. It's going to be a totally weird feeling, crazy feeling, I'm sure. What we're doing is just doubling up. We need it to be 2 blocks high, and then the ceiling will actually be above it, so it's actually going to be really claustrophobic too. There's only going to be barely enough room for your character to be able to pass through. And then we're going to need to hook the pistons up underneath. That's probably going to be our first thing, and then once they're hooked up, we'll then be able to wire up pistons above in order to get the walls to completely close up. If we only use one at the bottom, you're going to be able to see exactly where the walls are changing, and that's not the feeling that we're going for. So I'll just double this up. The maze already looks pretty difficult. I mean, it's been a few days now since I last built this, and since you guys last saw it, so I don't think I know the way through anymore. From what I remember, it is possible still, but I don't exactly know the route. It's going to be really, really interesting to try out. So, we're also going to try a new clock design today. Instead of having a weird old cauldron clocks and stuff that I've done in the past, this one we're going to try something new. Maybe you guys have never even seen of this redstone clock before. How on earth did that piece of dirt turn to grass? Did you see that? Does grass spread down? That was really weird. Maybe it's just my eyes. So we're going to be doing something called a hopper clock today. Now, I very rarely use these. I don't know why, because actually they're better than any other sort of clock that I use. But you never know. You never know. So we've got some sort of weird blocks that you might not have seen before. It doesn't matter what the other block is. I'll just use stone. Something like that. Now, what we've got to do is place down a hopper. But we need to place it so it has like a little 90... See that sort of the 90-degree corner, how the end of the hopper is sticking out this way? And then you're going to put another one facing in there. So they're sort of joined into each other. So anything you put in this hopper goes into this one. And anything you put into this hopper goes into that one. How weird is that? What happens if actually I put an item in here? There you go. So it's going out of this one, into this one, out of this one, into this one, out of that one. You get it. Can I get it back? I can. Wonderful. It was stuck in there forever. So once you've got this, I need another block of room here. Once you've got that, we're actually going to place a comparator, which I didn't get. A comparator on this side, and a comparator on this side, with a block here and here. So, these comparators are only going to be lit when there's an item in the hopper next to it. If there's an item or multiple items in this hopper, this comparator will be lit. If there's items in this hopper, this comparator will be lit. But as soon as one of the hoppers run out of items, the clock will then restart? I don't know. I'm just trying this out at the moment, but the comparator will turn off. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a piece of redstone dust there and there, and then we're going to have a piston facing this way and a piston facing this way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a block of redstone in the middle here. Now this might look quite weird, but let me explain. This piece of redstone, or this redstone block, is actually going to be locking this hopper. If I put something... Well, there you go. I put something in that hopper. The comparator read that there was an item in it. But because the item was sucked out so quickly, it actually sort of glitched the clock out a little bit. What we can do is let's take that out and put a stack of diamonds in here. Okay, so the clock is over this side while these items are being drained out. That's a bit too many. Let's take a few out. So the items are being drained out. It's over this side. And what we should do, why is it not resetting? Ah, sticky pistons. Dump. Dump. Oh, you're really freaking out right now, hey? There we go. Okay, you're in there. Take you out. There we go. So, we now have our redstone line out of here. And as you can see, this clock, the items are being drained out of one into the other one. And then as soon as they drain out of the other one, it then switches around. It's very, very cool. So let's make sure we have none left. No, good. So we can actually change how quick this timer works. If we have 1 diamond in there, it's a very quick clock. If we put 2 diamonds in there, it's twice as slow. 3 diamonds is 3 times as slow. 4 is 4, 5 is 5, 6 is 6 times as slow. So at 6 times, the clock changes this often. The reason why this clock is so much better than a normal redstone repeater clock that I do a lot is because this is so delicately customizable. You can change this pretty much an infinite amount of times. You can time it to be exactly how quick or how slow as you want, and obviously your output is just off here. So obviously I think that's a little bit too quick. We don't want the hopper to change that often. We've got an autosave here, so this isn't going to be a true value of how long that took. So it's on. It's off. That's too quick. We want around 20 seconds. So let's put in let's drain all this out. There we go. Let's try a stack. Now I'm going to time it on my timer. So we're on like 5 seconds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That was about 25 seconds. I think that's perfect. We sort of estimated last episode that if the maze changed every 20 or 30 seconds, we would have a interesting sort of aspect to the maze. It doesn't change so quickly that you don't notice it, and it's not going to change so slowly that you sort of realize that you're trapped in an area. Very, very cool. I'm very, very excited. So the next question is, do we actually want all of these to come up at the same time and them all to drop down at the same time? Or do we want certain ones to come up, forcing you to potentially get trapped in it? I like that idea. Let's have them all at different times. The hardest thing is actually going to be to get all of these to here. So we've got this one now has a route. This one should... Oh no! We broke it! It's a catastrophe! Oops. Let me crouch. No, come back. No, come back. No, come back! I got it. There we go. Put a stack back in there. So that one's sort of lined up to it. And then we have these 3, so I should be able to line this one up. We should see one of the pistons there, and then where was the other one? Just off here, just so we know where they are. And then if I go directly that way, we should end up at our at our clock again. Perfect. Okay, so we probably want this one, how many have we got? We've got 5. So if we done that one, and this one change at the same time, and that one change at the same time, but obviously opposite to each other. We can do that. We can do that. What we can have is... Now, what ones was it? I need to remember here. That one and that one at the same time. So let's have a repeater there and a repeater here. Join those up together. Obviously, don't touch, don't put your redstone here because it's going to be affected by the clock itself. So we can have that there. So there's one joined up, and then we can just hook this up to the clock easily. You could do a better job of this redstone, definitely, 100%. And we can put in a repeater there. No, it didn't reach. There and there. Okay, so those two go at the same time. But what we need to do is we need to invert the signal for the other ones. Now, this isn't hard to do. We can have this one simply on a torch. Let's just grab a block. It doesn't matter what it is. Like that. With a torch like that. So now it should be inverted. Yeah, these ones are down. That one is up because that's being inverted. Is it? No, it's not. That's not going to work, is it? Because as soon as I power this... Yeah, no, that's not going to work. That's a silly idea. What am I thinking? Let's put a block back underneath it. We can do it like... like this. This really is not the best way. But it works, okay? So this one is now going opposite to that one every 20 seconds. This one down here also wants to be the opposite. So let's just have another simple thing like this. And have a repeater to suck that out of there. And then, where was the last one? Down here. Was that the last one? Yeah, this is the last one. So now, last one, we want to have run down here. And we want this one to be in the same time as those ones. So if we come off this signal, let's keep it out of the way of the other redstone. If we bring it off this signal, invert it, and that'll make that. So these should all change now, opposite. We can see that one is up, that one is up, and this one is, oops, that one is up, which is perfect. And then when it changes, those three should go down, and these two should come up. And that shouldn't be too long left, because I've been up for a little while here. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. There we go. Okay, so that one and that one is now up. That one, and that one is down. Wonderful. It's hooked up. It's wonderful. Okay, so we can have our blocks above these. Obviously, we're going to have to change out the floor from grass to this block, but I can do that off camera. In fact, I might do that off camera now, in fact. Get that done and sorted. And then we should be back to do the top, okay? Give me a few minutes. How disorientating does this look? It looks like something the devil created. It's also going to be dark inside, I also realise, which is going to make it impossibly hard. I don't know if that's going to actually make it like ridiculously hard or not. Maybe we'll have to put some torches in there. Torches won't give off, like, if we use glowstone, you'll be able to see where the walls are, or where the fake walls are. But torches, obviously, we could place anywhere and it won't give anything away. So I think we are going to have to torch up at the end. However, I don't know where my pistons are anymore. Aha, there's one here. What we need to do is we need to just put a block where I can see the pistons, so we know where the walls are. Aha, there's one. Oh, and it's just switched. There's one here. There's one here. And here. Whew, got it. Nailed it. So that's just so we know where the other pistons need to be to close up the roof. So we need to have a piston, a sticky piston, obviously, above. Oh, yeah, don't do that. Well, break everything, do we? That's a terrible idea. We shouldn't have used a block of redstone, should we? Like that one. That one. Did I use a sticky piston? I did. Good. Where did that go? Oh, I thought I... I don't know anymore. That one. That one. That one. And that one. And then this one. I'm lucky, or I'm glad that we didn't do more than like 5, because it would have got... The more you do, the more complicated it gets. Yes, the harder the maze is, but the more complicated it just generally gets. So what we need to do now is actually get these pistons to activate in the same times as the ones below it. Now, 2 ways to do that. We can either use up space in the maze to have vertical redstone, or we can actually bring a redstone line out and then bring it on top of the maze and then hide it up afterwards. I think that's probably the smart play. In fact, what we could do is we could bring the redstone like up here, so it doesn't come out of the maze for the redstone to come up. We can actually have a lead sort of come up here and then go onto the roof of it, which will then be hidden up. I think that's probably a good idea. If I make my way towards that piston, I should eventually be able to make my way... There we go. It's got to be somewhere around here. There we go. I can now make my way back. So if we have a repeater here, that'll suck the power out. Then we want to bring the power around to here, have a block with a torch, a block with a torch, a block with a torch, and a block. And what we need to do now is have the redstone on top and invert the signal depending on the piston below. So this one is up at the minute, and now it's down. But this redstone is on. So for this piston, this signal needs to be inverted. So let's have a piece of redstone, and then have something like that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So we're that closed up together. Although it wasn't perfectly in time, it doesn't really matter. We're not looking at for it to have perfect synchronization. We're just looking at it for them to close within a few milliseconds of each other. So that one, and where's the other one? This one have to be both closed at the same time. So we're going to drag this one back. That was the one, right? Yeah, because it's changed. You got to remember, it's now changed. So we'll have these down here. I think that's not too long. Oh, it might be. We'll have a look when it changes back round. And then of these ones, well, yeah, we'll put a repeater in anyway. Repeater in here. Beautiful. And then for this one, we need to have this inverted. So we'll have torch, redstone, like that. That's up, that's down. This one also has to be inverted for this one. We seem to be inverting everyone, every single bit. Yeah. Are we still right? Yeah, we're still right. We don't necessarily have to have redstone on top of those, I don't think, but it doesn't really matter. And then we'll just have a nice straight line from here to there. Obviously, again, there's many, many ways that you can hook this up. But like that. So, we should have 2 closed points at the moment. 1, 2. Yeah, that's a closed wall. And then when it changes, we should have those 2 then open up, and the other 3 close and not allowing us to pass, so we can put the roof on it and give it a test. Boy, am I excited. Oh, I'm not going to like it, because I don't like mazes. Okay, there we go. That one's closed. That one's closed. and that one's closed. Boy, you can see how ridiculously hard this is. Before we test it, I think it would probably be best for us to cover it up, and then when we go through it and test it, we shall probably light it up at the same time. So let me cover this up, and I shall be back. I don't want to do this on camera, that'll waste time. Ta-da! Obviously we can dress this up a little bit. I'm thinking about a quartz or something. Oh, maybe a sandstone sort of lip around it. Maybe have the entrance and the exit the other way. Do I like that? I think I might like it all the other way around. But anyway, that's something that we can sort of worry about afterwards. I can change it back to andesite for the moment. Dressing it up and doing it how you want. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys are building this one for yourself. Oh, that's gravel. It fell? What? It's actually not too dark in here. But what we can do is actually use a potion of night vision if we want to be able to see. That could be quite good. In fact, for the purposes of this video, I think I probably should. Let's do that. Pow. Okay, so it's like daytime in here. I can't remember what the actual correct way to start is. I can't remember. I know it's not right, but I can't remember if it's left or middle. Let's try up the middle first. This is literally like a completely new feeling to me. Now that we're inside and we're sort of locked in, like that could be the way. You just don't know. I don't know how long this is going to take for me to get out. Nope. And you can hear the pistons change now and again. It's like, where did that change? Where can I not go now? What? I feel like we're sort of making our way through, but you have no idea what is actually a dead end and what is a dead end because the doors are closed. Like is that the actual way? And you have no comprehension of how close to the finish you actually are. Like you might be like really close to completing it. Like literally like just 1 or 2 blocks away, but not know it. I think it must be this way. Oh man, now I'm confused. Ah, phew. That really threw me for a moment. Dude, you have no idea. You know what you should do? The trick to a maze. There is a way to complete mazes easily, and it's by just following the left wall or the right wall. If you follow the left wall constantly, I'll show you the tactic. Look, stick to the left, stick to the left, stick to the left, stick to the left, stick to the left. Like this, and you go around the whole maze by just sticking to the left and turning left at every opportunity and just hugging the left wall. You will eventually get out of a maze. However, when the maze is changing and the lefts aren't always there, you might not quite I got it! You might not quite get yourself out. Now, I have no idea how I got out there. That was complete luck. There's no way that you can skillfully get through that maze. There's no amount of memory that's going to really help you because it changes all the time. That's crazy cool, though. Just as my night vision potion ran out, too. Absolutely crazy cool. And the only redstone on the top is this. You can hide that up in so many different ways. And I'm really neating that up. We are going to have to leave the episode there, though. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.